Yep.
Did you ever dabble in music or try to?
Okay, so I tried really hard to be getting girl groups, and I got in 2 girl groups, and I helped them get a record deal because I used my dad's name, but I can't sing a lick. I was always going to do a girl group. It just never worked out because the girls can never get along. And then my father said, I'd rather hear a fat baby fart than to hear you sing. That's cool. That's how good I sing.
Well, no sugarcoating that.
Oh man, that was fantastic. I've heard a lot. Oh, I've never heard that one before.
Am I allowed to say that?
Absolutely, yes, of course. Of course.
So happy you did.
Oh.
You think you've heard them all? That's a first for me.
He's always saying stuff and ragging on me. I don't care.
I love it.
I'm listening anyway.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we got to regroup after that one. That was pretty funny. Okay, well, so it didn't work out for you. The singing didn't work out.
No, he told me stick to modeling. I can't sing a lick. Did a little bit of acting. Tried. I can't hold a note. I tried that.
Welcome, fellow lushes. Come on in, pull up a bar stool, and enjoy some cocktails with Dimples and the Beard.
Can I say this and cause as much controversy as possible?
Oh boy.
I didn't lose a fucking wink's worth of sleep over Betty White dying. Didn't care.
Well, I didn't.
Oh my God, stop moving the camera.
I cared because she was a gem. She was a national treasure.
For what?
For making me laugh and giving me boners.
All right. That's cool. All right. What an intro. Another episode of Cocktails with Dimples
I do like
and the Beard.
Charter.
Let's pour some rosé.
Rosé in the
How
morning.
much rosé do you pour?
You don't pour that much rosé.
It's it's a combination red, white. White you fill to the rim. Red you feel like you put that much in, right? You can barely tell there's any wine in the glass. I thought pink wine was closer to white wine, so I assumed you just poured and poured and poured and poured. Well, you weren't even looking, and then you overfilled. Oh, a little more. You're all right.
You see that we are joining in.
All right, before we start, if you're watching on YouTube, go down there and click the subscribe button.
Little
please.
button. It's not very big.
Please. It's free.
Well, it even hurt.
It's free. It might hurt. You might get a little electrical shock if your computer's faulty wiring or something. But my guess is it won't hurt.
We do appreciate it.
We do.
Means nothing to you, but a lot to us.
Sick. That's exactly what Ryan Sickler says.
Is it?
I don't know if
somebody.
I don't know if he's trademarked it, but if he has, come fight us, Ryan.
Come on the show and fight.
Right? We'll take you on anytime. Greatest podcaster out there.
Maybe
Greatest interviewer out there.
I don't know. I didn't know I got it from him, but I knew I heard it somewhere.
Yeah, he does the
I
best.
stole it.
He does the best interview podcast out there. I mean, other than Cocktails with Dimples and the Beard. Oh, of course.
Second best.
Second best.
That's true.
I'm getting one of those excited panic attacks again because
Coming on.
Yeah, because we're talking to somebody.
We are going to be talking.
We're talking to somebody way out of my league again.
They're all out of the league. Yes, we have another. What are we bringing on? Another Playmate.
Playmate of the month. June 1994.
Yes.
Elan Carter. I think she was.
I gotta get where
she was just Elan Carter in the magazine.
a new book or these two for each guest, so I'm not flipping.
Yeah, don't flip during the interview. That was so annoying the other night.
But I got stuff.
Then fucking rip the fucking page out of the notebook, set it on the table so that you can flip it without fucking. Oh my God. Remember when I said I almost lost my shit? It was not what I was talking about. It was about you.
Hold on. I got a question in here. I put it on the back of the page.
Listen. You see how you can't even hear this one?
You could barely notice.
Oh my God. Do not turn that fucking page. I'm going to lose my mind.
Up in here.
Up in here. All gonna make me go all out.
Up in here. Up in here.
R.I.P. DMX. You I miss, and you I mourn for, and you I lost some sleep. You were awesome, and Betty White was too. I'm just kidding. I love Betty White. We say shit to piss people off, so that they'll hit the subscribe button right down there.
So we can piss you off more.
No leaving waiting, but no leaving pretty ladies waiting in the waiting room. So without further ado, Elan Carter Price.
Hey,
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Perfect. Hello.
how are you?
We are doing very well. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm a little technically challenged sometimes, so
Well, we are certainly as well. So every time we kick one of these things off and we have both audio and video within like the first 2 minutes, we're excited. So
exactly. And the thing is, I don't have my glasses on because I need glasses, so I can't see what I'm looking at.
Oh,
that might be that's probably better for you.
better for you.
Right. It's better for me, but I can't see what I'm doing. That's the problem.
That's all right.
How are you guys?
We're phenomenal.
Fantastic.
So if you can't see,
That's exactly. Look, I just poured I have just a little bit. That's what I.
We don't mess around. I told you we like to cater. We like to tailor to the guests. And so we went out and got ourselves a couple bottles just in case.
Oh, great. And I didn't drink that whole bottle. I just had some left, right? I was like, I have some still because I had some friends over. But yes, this is my
It says right on the bottle, low alcohol, right? So it's meant to drink a lot of it.
I'm like a little baby drinker, so I like a little fruity. I know it's girly drinks, but my sister says that she's a drinker, so she says I drink Kool-Aid. So
well, he prefers girly drinks, so we're all good.
yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is. This is
It's
my
good,
first time drink. Yeah, it's very tasty.
It's tasty.
All right.
It's
So
like candy. Cheers.
cheers to our guest, Elan Carter Price, Miss June 1994. Thank you so much for coming on.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, very fruity.
Oh yeah, delicious.
Nice, right?
Yeah, it's light and yeah.
Rosé's, well, it's not morning, but rosé's for in the morning, right?
If you only thing is because it tastes so good, you drink too much, you might get a little buzz.
Yeah, you start in the morning, it might mess you up by the end of the day. But we're in Wisconsin, so
we're seasoned.
We know
Oh, it's cold in Wisconsin.
it is.
Cold.
It is. Yeah, that's a good question. Where do you find yourself in the world tonight? Because you're obviously following you on Instagram, you do a lot of traveling. You're all over the world.
I just got back from Dubai. I'm actually in Los Angeles right now.
Okay.
For now. So I do have some more trips coming up.
Is Los Angeles home base?
Yes,
Okay.
Los Angeles is home base. It was really cold here last week. A couple of days ago, actually. It just warmed today.
Wait.
What's cold
What's
to you?
really cold?
Well, for us, we're such babies in the 40s and windy.
Okay.
So that's really cold for California.
I did see somebody down in that part post like some video of like some hail and some sleet in Southern California.
Wow.
Yeah, and they closed the Grapevine, which that's on the way going to if you're going to, I don't know if you guys know, probably San Francisco. I want to say Magic Mountain, but you don't live out here. That's the amusement park.
Yeah.
You're going up that way, it snowed, and so they had to close it down. So if you go 40 minutes away, it's totally snowing.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Like right now it is?
Yeah, it's snowing. It's a lot of snow.
Wow. Awesome.
For them, it's a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The good thing is we can go have snow and ski, and then the same day we can drive down the mountain and go to the beach if weather permits. So
That's incredible.
That is nice. Yeah.
That's why everybody wants to live out there, right?
yeah, you're right. But we got crazy people right now, so you don't want to come out here. Everyone's crazy.
Well,
A lot of people we've talked to lately have moved out of California, so
right.
Yep.
gotta love it. Well, Wisconsin, what are we, 10, 12 today?
Something like that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
and we got our snow last night. So yeah.
Well, it didn't get that cold, but I still live in London, and I lived in London for 10 years. And
Okay.
I call it the island of dank, the IOD, dank ass island, because I wake up, right? First of all, it's just the clouds just sitting there. It's dark. And then by the time 3:00 hits in the wintertime, it's already dark because they in the summer, it stays light until 9, about 11 o'clock, maybe. But in the winter time, it gets dark really early. So you wake up, it's dark, and then 3 o'clock, it's pitch black. It's depressing and it's cold and wet. So I got enough cold. That's why.
I did hear that. I did not realize it was that early that it got dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That gets to you. It gets pretty dark fast. And then you're like, I'm on the IOD. Then you become angry.
And then you just go to Dubai or come back to LA.
Yes, which is another 8-hour flight. So I've been to Dubai several times. It's my new favorite place besides Italy.
Okay.
Okay.
And what part of Italy have you gone to all of Italy at this point?
I've done most of it. I'm sure there's places. I haven't been to Cinque Terre. I've been to Capri. My favorite is Florence. I love Florence. I love the food. I love the culture. I love the lifestyle of it. But I've done all the like Lake Como. I've done all the cool places. Rome is my favorite because of the history and the culture. You literally can just walk around and just find so much culture and history. I just found that fascinating.
Yeah, that's definitely a bucket list item for me. I'd love to get to Rome and Greece and all that.
I did Venice, but Venice it's beautiful. It literally looks like you're pulling, I remember pulling in and you look like you're on a movie set. It looks that cool. But after a couple of days, the water starts to kind of smell a little bit. In a weird way, like sulfur. So a couple of days, it's beautiful to see, but it's just wasn't my favorite, but it's so pretty.
Nice.
We'll get there. So all your traveling is it for business or just for fun?
Well,
or both?
My husband is a trader in finance. So we lived in New York for a couple of years and then we lived in London for 10 for that reason. In Dubai, he was traveling for work, but most of it is just, we like to travel a lot. We like to go to places. There's a couple things on my bucket list I haven't done yet, which I hope to.
What are they?
I was gonna say,
I would love to go to Egypt. I would love to go to South Africa to safari, but COVID has been so bad, it's kind of put a lockdown on everything. And plus it wasn't, when we lived in London, we want to go to Egypt, but it wasn't really safe. It was crazy people doing crazy stuff. So we kind of, I want to go to the pyramids and just, I like to look at all the historical things, and that's fascinating to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So typically we start these things kind of with your Playboy story, how you got involved and the experiences you had.
How did you get discovered?
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a funny story. Okay, let's take a sip.
Oh, perfect. We like that.
Sip time.
Sip time. When I was a little girl, my mother's really beautiful. My mother was a Playboy bunny at Great Gorge in New York.
Okay.
And then she met my stepfather, who I was raised by, one of the original Temptations. He's the owner of the group. That's my stepfather, but I was 5 years old. So I remember going there with her. We moved to California. So I grew up here and then I started modeling, and I was actually doing very well modeling. Lived in Vienna for a while, lived in London. And my mother worked in the building. She's in advertising that Playboy was in. And I would meet her for lunch and they kept asking me, who's that? And she's like, oh, my daughter. The security guy would always talk to her. And then one of the ladies were like, you got to see this lady's daughter. She comes in here all the time. And they asked me to do it. And I was like, kind of hoot and hog, because I was actually doing legitimate modeling type of stuff.
Yeah.
More, like catalogs. I didn't know how they were going to respond. But anyway, my mother talked me into just trying out, and I got in it, and that's how it happened. And then they found out about I hadn't even told them about my father. Midway through it, he was doing a show and I couldn't do one of the shoots. I was like, oh, my dad's doing a concert. They're like, huh, what? So he ended up getting in the magazine because they came to the show. It was in San Diego and they asked me to go on stage. Now I can't sing a lick. So my opening page, he thought it was hysterical because we're going to move on. They have the video, but they wanted us to move on like it was actually a regular shoot. So I had to get up in front of the audience and sing My Girl with them. It looked good. It looked good on the picture. But no, I didn't sing. He thought it was funny.
Well, as long as it looks good on the picture, right? That's
exactly.
That's what they're after.
Then the experience of the shoot.
So the experience was pretty cool. I remember shooting, they shoot for 6 months to a year. And so because I was a model, there was a couple of times they had to make me stop for a while because I had to gain weight because they like the girls curvy. And
Sure.
so a lot of girls have a hard time getting in because even if you are skinny, and the interesting thing is, as a model, I did a lot of catalog bathing suit, and I did a lot of, lingerie stuff anyway, because I was pretty curvy. So they just made me gain weight a little bit. And
Oh.
yeah, there's some juicy stories. And I remember they're like, well, you got to be more sexy. But I was so conscious of being a fashion model. They had to give me a little cocktail because I was shy to loosen me up. So the shoot part was pretty good. The photographers were great. They make the girls feel really comfortable. That's like the beginning stage, doing the shoot part.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you get the.
So again, it's that you've been in front of a camera for a long time. So that's natural. But the first time being nude, was there any reservations of doing that?
Well, they said, we have to talk to you. We need to pull you to a side. We got to give you a little bit of a drink. You look frozen, because I was just kind of like, oh my God, I'm naked. And I had done a lot of music videos. And also I had done a lot of my music videos. I started turning them down. I actually started doing a lot of rock videos too. And
Before Playboy? That was before Playboy? All the music videos?
It was around, well, I had done a lot of stuff before Playboy because I was doing a lot of modeling stuff. Because back then they used models from modeling agencies for music videos. Unlike now, it's totally different. There's someone go, hey. So yeah, I had done a lot of videos, and I was used to being the sexy girl, but it was different when I was naked. So I don't even remember. It was so long ago. I know I was scared.
Okay.
I can't even imagine.
No, it's a different
and
experience.
then after a while, I was just like, and then, but the thing about modeling is when you're doing shows, runway, you're naked anyway. You're running backstage, changing clothes. So that part of didn't bother me, but that was kind of quick. But then you are on a set full of people and they are adjusting you. So they actually are doing little makeup things and adjusting certain things.
Okay. Any horror stories of the poses? Because it looks so easy, but sometimes we've been hearing, like, well, I got to hold this pose and it's not the most comfortable.
Yeah. Well, that's, it's really orchestrated how they do it. I think some of the hard part was for me, some of the girls, they'll push to see how much you can do. So for me, I was kind of like, well, be careful. I don't want the shot to be too risque. And, for me, I was more concerned about that. I didn't want it to look like Penthouse.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
So, and they were good about that because Hef likes the girls to be the girls next door until you get to the mansion parties.
Oh, we can get into that.
Show.
Any good stories about the mansion?
I heard, now I didn't participate, but I did hear about the stories. I witnessed some things, not too much. I just would be like, oh my God. So yeah, I saw a couple of things, and I know people that worked there. I know some people that were involved, some of the girls, everyone talks. So I would hear some of the stories.
Okay. Did you spend a lot of time at the mansion?
Yeah, because you know what? They always had the parties. Mm-hmm. And so what they would do is they would hire a group of playmates and we would work the party for the evening. It's the girls that don't get in Playboy is the girls that they really bring in for entertainment. Oh. So we'll hire like 20 girls for the night. And there was always something going on. And at that time, he was married to Kimberly still. Okay. And so we would work all night and people would ask us to show them the mansion and we would give them a tour of the mansion. But then there would be a whole bunch of girls that want to be in Playboy. And those are the girls that the guys would talk to. But the funny thing is, one of the girls I met recently, and she was asking me, she said, I used to always be at the mansion. And the guy said to me, are you a Playmate? And she said, no. And he walked away from her, left, because they wanted to meet the Playmates, but they didn't realize that you just were going to get a tour of the house.
Yeah, right.
Not for everybody else. We go home. We go, okay, it's time. We're off. We're going to go home.
Yeah, we're punching a clock just like everybody.
Absolutely.
That's
the job.
But it was entertaining. It was fun. At the time we complained, one of the girls I was speaking to, her name is Susie Singstock, beautiful girl. And we were saying, we look back on hindsight, there will not ever be anything like that again. No. Like it was a time and fun and the people that were there, we're not going to experience that kind of lifestyle ever again because it's gone. The whole thing is gone.
Yeah, it's sad.
I know.
And it seems like you formed a big tight relationship with all the girls. It seems like it's everyone we've talked to seems like it's a good sorority and there isn't a whole lot of cattiness to it or anything between the girls. It seems like
you got a whole bunch of girls together, but you have those ones that you do like. You actually kind of gravitate to some of the, and we're older, so you kind of gravitate to some girls and some girls you don't, but you still kind of look out for each other. Like if someone says something about one of the girls, this one needs help or this is going on, we'll kind of all talk to each other and kind of check up on who's doing what, or have you heard this? Are they okay? You know, we try to do that, and they try to get us work. Actually, I was on a show recently, a couple months ago, an Ava DuVernay show on NBC called Home Sweet Home.
Yeah.
okay.
One of the Playmates got me that show.
Oh, okay.
And I hadn't even been around her. And she called me and she's like, look, you would be great for this show. And I was like, oh, I don't think I'm interesting. So, you know, it worked out, but I was just surprised. She just randomly called me and said, hey, I want you to audition for this show.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I did see the clips for that. Has that aired yet, or is that?
Yeah, that aired some time ago. It's
Okay.
now on Array. It's on Array and it's on Peacock streaming.
Oh, okay.
NBC didn't keep it up. They said our show was the funniest to them because we were just being ourselves, and I think that's why it worked. Because in my family, we just travel and we're crazy and we're funny. We think we're funny. But yeah, they said we had a really funny episode because a lot of them were based on people's religion and people's some of the things they do in their house. And I'm like, well, we're not religious.
Yeah.
You know, we believe in something, but none of us are religious. We just kind of go on about our business and have a good time and treat each other nice. And we're just spontaneous. And I think that's why it worked. Why they thought the show was funny.
Okay. Yeah. And the whole premise of the show was one of these home swapping shows. Like you went and lived in, is that kind of what it was?
Yeah, it was a cultural swap. Our episode was the only episode they put us with another Black family. So they put us in a family that was living in the inner city. My husband's a trader and he does well. And I came from that type of background, which is totally different. And so we had to live in the inner city for a week, which was quite interesting for my kids.
Sure. Yeah, I bet.
I bet. How old were they when you did this?
So we just did a couple months ago. So my son is 17, my daughter's 13. They're very humble, sweet kids. We travel a lot. My son was born in England. He lost his accent when he was about 6, but he tells people, he tells the girls now, you know, I'm British, right?
Well, I
Oh, yeah.
don't blame them.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm working on my accent just so I can tell people the same thing.
Don't say it. I would think he'd want to bring it back. Yeah. 'cause
Right?
He's trying, but it's gone. He sounds like a California kid.
Okay. In which he seems to be being very busy these days.
Yeah.
Your son.
Yeah. He's
Um,
doing his music. He's actually up for a show. I don't want to jinx it, but it's
Okay.
a show in Europe.
Oh.
And with a huge artist. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. He writes his own music, produces his own music. So he got musical talent that I don't have. So,
Nice.
So you're saying it skipped a generation.
yeah. And he's actually good. I'm not just saying that. He's actually very good. And his music's kind of more crossover. It's kind of hip hop, but it's more Bruno Mars type of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were listening to.
We listened to a little bit of it for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
Started following him, so
thank you.
absolutely, to see what he's about, and so far, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he had the game on one of his tracks on his album. That's huge.
That's huge. And he got it by himself. I'm like, how'd you do that?
Right.
So how did he do that? Did he just
He
contact his manager?
contacted him, and he randomly contacts people and he responded. And he's been so kind to my son.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know him, but I so appreciate it because a lot of artists that he's tried to talk to, don't let me forget, I have a story to tell you about the mansion in Eminem. So
Put a pin in that one.
yes, I don't forget. So he was so kind to him and has written him back. And then we hear he has an album coming out with Kanye West like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, all this time he has an album coming out with Kanye West and he's talking to my son who has no name and trying to get going. So he's a good guy. Because
Yeah.
most of the artists would not do that for someone they don't know. And so I give those to him. And
Well, it's
For sure.
it's-
I mean, you love hearing stories like that. You really do.
it's the same kind of kudos that I give to yourself and to all the other beautiful playmates who have been willing to come on our show and talk to us, because I think we're up to 8 or 9 playmates now.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's been a blast.
it's amazing how kind you all are. And we had Echo Johnson and Karina Harney on an episode together, and
Oh, yeah.
They have just been our voice. They've promoted us and helped us get more guests. And so they've been
I
so
will
wonderful.
too. I have no problems, because the thing is, we appreciate, the recognition that you still appreciate talking to us.
Yeah,
So
for
we
sure.
appreciate that.
We love the stories, and we love Echo
Yes.
and Karina's podcast about all the stories at the mansion and stuff.
Oh,
So yeah.
Okay, so I got an Eminem story for you.
Good.
Yes,
I
let's
told
hear
my
this.
son this the other day. When Eminem first came out with his album, it's funny because everyone complained that they wanted Hef to let younger people come. And he's old school, he's older. He definitely wasn't going to let any hip hop guys come, right? And I'm like, look, you got to season it up here. It's boring because everyone's Hef's age. So the girls would complain, and that's what would freak me out, because these beautiful young girls would be a new girl, and they'd be over there with Hef and his friends, and I'd be like, oh yeah. So anyway, he let Dr. Dre come. So they said, look, you're going to host a party. Dr. Dre, you know who he is? I was like, of course I know who he is. So they're like, he's going to host a party. He has a listening party with a new artist. I was like, oh, okay. So Dr. Dre comes with all his posse, right? And I'm listening to the music, and it's all this hip hop, and they're on top of the grotto, and they're like, yo, whatever. And I was like, they're not going to let this happen again, right? I'm sitting there cringing, going, they're going to freak out when they see this.
Yeah.
And this one guy comes up to me, and he's like, oh, can you give me a tour of the mansion? This little nice, young, sweet looking, kind of dark blonde then, dressed whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I just give him a tour around the mansion, and we go and look at the birds and take him to the monkey cages. He was so polite, so sweet. And he was talking to me the whole time. He goes, yeah, this is my listening party. I goes, yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, it was Eminem.
Oh,
Wow.
Before anyone knew who he was,
Right.
wasn't a star, album wasn't out. And he said, I want you to take me and show me the mansion.
That's awesome.
right.
So and I told my son that. I said, oh my God, you won't believe this. I go, he was the nicest guy. That was a long time.
What about Dr. Dre? Did you meet Dr. Dre?
I met Dr. Dre. I have friends that know him, but I don't really know him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, you like to
I
hear
did.
that.
I tried to get him on my son's.
Right.
Well,
I wish I did know him like that at Eminem.
Eminem, you could be like, hey, remember me?
Yes, remember me.
I gave you the best tour ever.
Remember the birds and the monkeys? So yeah.
There you go. And then you were able to watch his listening party and listen to his new album?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking anything of it at the time, because
Sure.
he wasn't a name. No one knew who he was, and he was very humble and very shy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I bet. Yeah, I bet early on in that
Early
world.
on, yeah. And this was probably really big for him, coming from Detroit, coming from where he came from. And he's at this big old mansion, and all these people are going crazy, and he's working with these big stars, because Dr. Dre's been big forever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was probably like so much for him. So he was really cool. And I would like to see him one day and tell him if he remembers the story.
We'll make sure to tag him in this. I'm sure he'll watch.
Okay.
I'm sure.
No.
So nowadays, unfortunately, there's those documentaries about the mansion in Hef, which we're not watching because I don't know that I believe them all. But have you been paying attention to the latest scandals
So
and stuff?
I haven't watched it,
Okay.
but someone sent me a picture. They were doing something, the story, the last one they did. And I'm in one of the pictures with a group of girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tylen has a microphone in her hand, and I'm standing next to her. And I don't know what context it was in, but they were actually showing me on there with something. Now, I haven't watched it, but I've heard some of the stories. A lot of it's true.
Okay.
For what I've
Okay.
heard, but I haven't seen it all, so I can't verify what is and what's not. But
Right.
a lot of stuff through the grapevine. I
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was
It was
Playboy
happening.
Mansion.
Like
Yeah.
he said he's tried everything and he wanted to experiment, and he did what he did.
Right.
I think
Absolutely.
the girls, I think the problem is we glorified Hef. Right now, it's totally different. It's like a Me Too. You know what I mean? That's unacceptable, but we glorified it and we justified it. And, a lot of that stuff was going on, unfortunately, for the girls that wanted to get involved, and then once they got involved in Playboy, some of the things I saw, you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Right.
Whether you were willing to do it or not, I was always like, they said I didn't cooperate because I was like, I'm going home. But I came from a different background. So I was exposed to a lot at a young age. I grew up in entertainment. I had been modeling. My father was already famous. So it was not new to me versus some of the girls come from Wisconsin. They come from, somewhere and they've never seen any of this before. And they go, oh my God, it's so overwhelming that they just get thrown into it. And I think, unfortunately, that's what happened with some of the people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of famous, how is it growing up with a famous father? Like one of the biggest.
I grew up with I met so many famous people since I was little, right? Of course, I'm going to say the only one that really freaks me. I've met just about everybody when I was growing up, but of course, I'm a Michael Jackson fan. So I remember meeting Michael Jackson. And I remember it was when Thriller was out and he came to see my dad at the show and he was really close to my father. And I remember standing there, he walks in the room and I froze and I was like, oh my God. And that's the only time I fanned out. But when he introduced me to him, I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I played it off.
Played it cool.
But I met him quite a few times. And then when I was growing up, I used to roller skate in the Valley. Roller skating was really big. And Janet Jackson used to be there all the time. And Michael Jackson used to come to the roller skating rink.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's growing up around it. I'm just kind of being in LA. I always tell people I've been around entertainment for so long. I'm used to it versus other people. I kind of spot characters faster than most people.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been fun. It's been great. I couldn't ask for anything more. It's definitely, it's been wonderful.
Did you go to the Temptation shows a lot, or were you like, not another one?
Yes, he asked me recently. He's like, you want to come to one of the shows? I'm like, no, that's okay. He's gone to so many shows, and I've taken my kids, and they have a big play that just closed because of COVID. That's been phenomenal on Broadway called Ain't Too Proud. It's his life story.
Oh, wow.
He put the group together. So it's his life story from his perspective, not the Motown story, actual Otis Williams story. And it's done really well. And so they had a big opening again in October. And the show came back on Broadway. It was paparazzi. So we flew back for that. That was fantastic. It was so many people there. And because of COVID, they closed it down again.
That sounds like I would see that play for sure.
Well, it's traveling now. It's a great show. My husband doesn't even like, he said he's not big on musicals, and he enjoyed it. The music was great.
Well, yeah. If it's the music of the Temptations, I mean, it's going to be great. Maybe it'll come to our little. We have a pretty decent theater by us. So
yeah, it's traveling, and it's not. I'm telling you, it's not boring. You're excited the whole time. The music, it's just really up.
Yeah. Does it get people up and dancing in the aisles at all?
Yeah, but then it's so heartfelt. Some of the stories, and kind of you're like, wow,
Okay.
It's touching too.
Nice. What's the name of it again? I'm sorry.
It's called Ain't Too Proud.
Ain't Too Proud. Okay. Gonna look for that.
Well, I will. I love that music. I do, and I'm about to say that I do love the Temptations and their music. That's for sure.
Classical.
It is. I was in high school. I was big into the oldies. So yeah,
Really?
Yeah, a lot in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Oh, the 80s was the best music. Okay, I'm aging myself now, but it is the best music. All the new wave and everything. It was my favorite era was the 80s. Prince, Michael Jackson. Then we had all the new wave from Europe, all the UK music. It was good.
I loved it because there was always something new every week. There was something new, a new sound, a new band.
Yep. So, MTV. Yeah. It was so good then.
It was a good era for music. Yeah, it was fun.
And for style. I mean, I have parachute pants. Yeah.
And my hair and the can of hairspray, and I had the biggest hair, and oh my gosh, yeah.
Did you say parachute pants?
Parachute pants.
Nice.
Oh my God, hammer pants.
And the more zippers, the better.
Yeah. Oh no, I had some parachute pants for sure.
And my daughter wears Doc Martens. We were big in Doc Martens in the 80s, and now I'm like, oh, that's not new.
Right. Well, it's recycled, right? It's coming back.
Everything's recycled.
Yep. Everything comes back. That's why you got to hang on to everything, because eventually it'll be cool again.
My mom.
That's why.
She's like, don't get rid of stuff. It's gonna come back. So I'm like, throw away that's old. She's like, it's coming back.
Right? Oh man, I just missed it.
Yeah.
Did you ever dabble in music or try to?
Okay, so I tried really hard to be getting girl groups, and I got in 2 girl groups, and I helped them get a record deal because I used my dad's name, but I can't sing a lick. I was always going to do a girl group. It just never worked out because the girls can never get along. And then my father said, "I'd rather hear a fat baby fart than to hear you sing." That's how good I sing.
Well, no sugarcoating that.
Oh man, that was fantastic. I've heard a lot. Oh, I've never heard
Am I
that
allowed
one
to
before.
say that?
Absolutely, yes, of course. Of course.
So happy you did.
Oh.
Oh, you think you've heard them all? That's a first for me.
He's always saying stuff and ragging on me. I don't care.
I
Whatever.
love it.
I'm just sing anyway.
I'm sorry, we got to regroup after that one. That was pretty funny. Okay, well, so it didn't work out for you. The singing didn't work out.
No, he told me stick to modeling. I can't sing a lick. Did a little bit of acting. Tried. I can't hold a note. I tried that. I can dance, but I'm a little uncoordinated. So, when we did in the girls group, we went to a dance class. That's when hip hop started really coming out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Didn't do well.
What were the names of the girls groups? Those are always fun.
One is Exotique.
Okay.
All right.
We wanted to be like Vanity 6. One was Foreplay before I think a group ended up coming out named Foreplay. And then the last one, I can't remember. I can't remember the girls. And they were pretty girls too, but
it was not your girlfriends. It was like auditions and try to bring
they were
strangers
my
together.
friends. And the girls start not getting along, and then the boyfriends start coming into play. And we actually got a deal. And it was right before the what's the girl group from London?
Spice Girls?
Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Right around that time. And I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys." And we were all different types, right? We're all different, backgrounds and looks. We had a blonde girl, we had a dark black girl, we had me, we had a Spanish girl, and they all messed. I was like, I just can't believe this. And I said to them, I can't sing a lick, so I'm just gonna use this for an opportunity.
I'll be in the back lip syncing.
So
I was Atmosphere.
Atmosphere?
Oh, you had names. Yeah. Okay.
No, I call myself Atmosphere.
She set the mood.
Yes. Oh, well, they works. What were the other ones? Do you remember the other girls' names? Was it a theme with?
I can't remember the other one.
Well,
I was in 4 other ones, and I just can't remember.
Well, I hope you have some old footage of you guys rehearsing or something. That would be fun to watch.
Okay, so one of my best guy friends, he has cassette tapes, and he told me he will blackmail me. He has cassette tapes of us singing.
Oh, there we go.
Well, there you go. You better be nice to him. Yeah, he'll release it to the world.
All wrong. Once my son becomes really famous, they're gonna oh, Trace's mom.
He can sing too. Listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, maybe he could incorporate that in some of his songs, like a snippet from you. What do they call it?
Sampling.
Sampling.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Of your singing in his songs.
He'll rap and start laughing and making jokes.
So you mentioned acting, and I saw on your list of credits that you were in an episode of Seinfeld.
I was.
How was that? And did you meet Jerry?
Oh, Jerry was so cool. I hung out with him. So I got the part. I hadn't watched Seinfeld. So everyone thought that was a really big deal. They're like, "What do you mean you don't know Seinfeld?" And I had this purple Porsche, and he loved Porsches.
Yeah.
I had a purple Carrera with a purple top. It was like an amethyst color.
Wow.
And so they were like, "That's the girl with," because he saw the car. I guess I was on the line. He like, "That's the girl with the car." So anyway, I hung out with him the whole time we shot. He was so cool. It was really fun. That was a great experience.
I bet.
And I did a movie with Matt LeBlanc that never came out called Looking Italian. I played his girlfriend. I got killed and died in his arms. And that's before he got Friends. So he was trying to get this agent and they wouldn't take him. And I was with this agent at the time and I walked him in there and he booked Friends.
Oh, look at you. Wow.
Yeah. If you see him, I would say, you remember me, Matt, right? What happened?
I hope he remembers.
You wouldn't be.
He does. Me. You know what? I was my son was playing soccer a few years ago, and there was a guy, I don't know how his name came up, but he started telling me he was in the industry and he was friends with Matt LeBlanc. I said, oh, I know Matt. I did a movie with him. And I don't know if he thought I was blowing smoke up his ass, but he called Matt on the phone, and I got on the phone. He's like, yeah, I totally know her. I was in a movie with her. So it was really cool.
Oh, how fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude.
So
He was funny. He was nice then.
didn't get then?
No. I don't hang out with them.
So it wasn't released. Did he, when he got big, try to block it? Because they usually, when somebody gets famous, they'll go back and re-release, even if they have 5 minutes in the movie, they'll put them on the cover, just to make money. But
something must have happened, because he got friends like within that year. So it was 6 to 8 months when the movies was supposed to be released. And I remember it was like on Extra or something, one of those kind of shows. And they were talking about it, and they showed him in the movie, and then the movie didn't come out. And then he got friends.
Oh, okay.
It showed that he had just filmed this movie. He
Wow.
was just starting to blow up.
Yeah, I remember him on the sitcom he was on prior to Friends, something on Fox, where he was something in Vinny or something like that. I remember that. So
did so you got killed? Was that is that fun to do on the scenes? I mean,
I got
pretend.
shot.
did you get?
I
did
read
get
you
a
got
death-
shot a lot.
I was nervous because they put those things on you and they say they're blanks. And looking back now, I was so scared. And I think it worked because I was so scared because they used those blank prop guns and it freaked me out. And I think I actually looked like I died well.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
not
was fun.
that's not an easy thing to pull off, the death scene in the movies.
Yeah.
So
So it seems like the acting hasn't been for a while. You just
I
moved
did
on
a
with other
movie.
things.
I did I went back to school, got a journalism degree, and then I want to do more hosting stuff. And then I got an opportunity to go on a radio show before I left. It was like a rock station. Don't ask me which one, I don't remember. And I ended up getting married, and they were going to put me on the show. And I looked back on it, and I moved to London. I got married in London because my husband got the job. But I wanted to go into radio and broadcasting and TV, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I did another movie about 6-7 years ago. Somebody asked, hey, I'm doing this movie. It's called Vertical.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Huh?
I was going to ask about that. That looked.
Yeah. So I
won
did
some
that.
awards.
Yeah, no, I won. I did that a few years ago. And then the director was going to do some other stuff. And I guess the second film we were going to do, that kind of fell apart. And I just haven't really been pursuing the acting because I've been traveling. And now my kids are older. So now I'm going to find some other stuff to get back into. I've been writing. I wrote a script.
Oh, fun.
To pitch this TV show. It's based on my husband. And I did pitch it to Lionsgate. And it's called Billions. It's on TV, became a big hit. It's based on my husband and 4 guys.
yeah. I
Yeah,
did.
it's not the show though. They took it.
Yeah. I watched like the first season of that. It's a good show.
First episode is my pilot. Like I did everything I could to, and I know how it happened, and I'll pursue that too. But and it was based on true stories because I lived in London. It's based on 4 guys, so all the characters in the beginning are pretty real characters.
Oh wow.
Oh,
So they copied it so well. I'm like, this is definitely true story. So right.
is Billions placed in London? I've never seen it.
No, it's placed in New York, but I switched it to New York. I changed mine to New York. So when I pitched it to take it to New York. But I wrote it when I was living in London.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can't trust anybody.
I know. But I'm turning it into a book.
Oh, there you go.
are.
I wrote it literally 16 years ago. I wrote that script.
Oh wow.
That's how long ago I wrote it. So I'm now turning it into a book, and I've added so much because so much has happened since then, and more juicy stories than what I had originally put in there. And it's not really, you can try to copy the trading part of it and investigate, I'm sure that's what the writers are doing, but I actually live the lifestyle, and the lifestyle is a lot different. That's really what it's based on, the lifestyle.
Oh, okay.
You got a bit of a heads up then.
Nice.
So I'm working on, I'm going to finish it. That's my goal this year, is to finish that book.
Okay.
Nice.
Any other writings you're doing?
Well, I had two other books I'm started. I just haven't completed. Another
Oh.
one is about, it's not like, I don't want it to be like a typical relationship book, but it's kind of like the Bible for people because, it's basically our relationships from childhood, which forms our relationships as adults with our friends and our coworkers and just any kind of relationship comes from your childhood and whatever baggage. And then also it's just kind of and not a self-help book, but you know how if your friend's in this situation and you give them advice and you can't follow that same advice when you get it done. And
Yep.
right. So it shows all that about, I just bring the stories out and I'm like, look at the story. This is how the story should end. And maybe you can apply that. And, I'm finishing that one too.
Okay.
So you are busy writing.
Yeah, busy girl.
Yeah.
Real quick in the vertical. I see you're a producer. How did you get? You're
So when
listed as a producer.
Yeah, no, I am a producer. When
Yeah.
they asked me to do the movie, my friend, she wanted me to invest in it.
Okay.
And so they asked me to invest, and then I worked with the producer and the director and the other people. And so I'm one of the investors in the film,
Okay.
being producer.
And you
That's
did you go to the award show? Was there an award show for that when you won?
Yes,
this film?
it was. It was up in Idlewild, up in the mountains where the snow is.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Okay.
That was fun. It was snowing. It was cold.
Yeah. I also see it won Best International Film at the London Film Festival
Yeah.
too.
I didn't get to go to that one. I missed that one, but yeah, and I had a pretty big part in that. So that worked out that was a good film. It was fun. We had to climb a mountain, which they didn't tell me. And I had to hike for hours.
Oh, wow.
Never forgot that. And so everybody that's in the film, everyone's fair skinned and it was so hot. And they asked me for like, anyone have any sunblock? I'm like, yeah, I have sunblock here, take mine. Oh my God. I got burnt so bad.
Oh,
I came down like crispy. I was crispy and peeling for like 2 weeks. That's the only bad thing about doing that. I got burnt really bad. And
they took your sunscreen and didn't let you use any of it.
no, because I was like, oh, I'll be okay. And oh my, I suffered for that. That's the only bad thing we're filming that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to watch that yet. We couldn't. I was looking for it, so I was trying to look for it before you came on, but couldn't find it. So I'll look a little further.
Okay, I'll look and see. I have a copy of it. It's a pretty good film.
Yeah. Well, it won an award,
Right?
Scott
Yeah,
should
it's
be.
good.
That's what I thought about
Based
it.
on a true story.
Okay. Did you do any rock climbing, cliff?
Yes,
just
that's
hiking?
what I'm saying. And then I'm
Not just
not
hiking.
the most coordinated. So we were way up this mountain and it was
But like with the ropes?
no, not that, but I should have
okay.
had gear on because it was really steep. I mean, Idlewild is really steep in the mountains.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So all your stunts were done by you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because they didn't have the budget, but they didn't tell me that. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this. It's not gonna be that bad. Just put some shorts and t-shirt on and some tennis shoes 4 hours later.
Oh,
Oof. What you do for your craft.
I know. That's why I took a break.
So is your son, has he got any shows coming up? Is he or what? I see he has been having a couple of them.
He was in a show last week. He's actually doing a show on March 5th. It's in LA and they named him the ambassador of anyone who wants to get the vaccine.
Oh.
So they're trying to encourage people to get vaccinated. And they asked him to do a show because they think that's going to bring people on. So he's going to do that next week in LA. And they're probably going to have some other artists there and entertainment. And if people want to get a shot, they can get a shot. They're going to pay him. So he's happy too.
Well, there you go. Nothing better than a paying gig.
Exactly.
Yes. Or a young man. Very
And
happy.
exposure.
Yeah. So and he's got this other show. He's coming up with there's another artist named Xavier Wolf. That's supposed to be, he's worked with him before. And so he has a show with him coming up in April. Another show in Arizona with another hip hop artist. Now that's where my mommy brain comes in. So I have to ask him the name of the artist.
Right? Yeah. Not every hip hop artist is made the same.
I have no idea. I try so hard, and then when I do know, I'm so proud of I'm like, oh, I know who that is.
Oh, yes.
Well, if you ask him and he's okay with it, we'd be happy to put some of his music in the background in the episode.
Oh, he would love that. He wants any exposure, any songs you find that you like.
Yeah.
You know, he has an alternative song on his new album called Beautiful Lies. That's just really cool.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll definitely check it out. I listened to like the first couple of tracks and I just never got back to it, but I like hip hop, so I'll check it out.
Oh, great. So, and he has more pop stuff on there too.
Okay. Cool.
Because we adjust the music depending on where he's going to perform. And he has some music on Vivo.
Okay.
So he won the top 5 hip hop song for Imposters. And that's more of a rock kind of song in the beginning.
Okay.
That particular video won the top 5. And he had a lot of kind of known people.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Wow.
Awesome.
Good for him. That's
so it's on if you just YouTube or Vivo, they pop right up.
Do with that, close to the enemies, feeling adjacent. Around the world, bullets blazing. Record executives, I tell them be patient. Boy with the Cubans, better know what his name is. Close to the enemies, feeling adjacent. Around the world, say the bullets stay blazing. Record executives, I tell them be patient. The boy with the Cubans, better know what his name is. Don't let the dogs out, they gonna break shit. Moving too fast, don't gotta pace this. Known how to finesse since the 6th grade. And oh shit, what was that? Told right behind me, I can hear the sound.
And I made that so relaxed, better take a nap, I'm so laid back. High energy is my main focus, no distraction, I maintain that. Morning sunshine, the big star is what I gaze at. Talking that shit, why would you say that? Cause know them dues, you pay that. 2020, not the year, but I got the vision. And we as all actors in our own movie, no need for auditions. No need to shoot my shot, they're ready, know I got precision. Go to Mars, I'm on a mission. Dreams come true, but I keep wishing.
Rock out, party time to clock out. We got the plan for the heist, so just listen out. Back look like that hatchback, back it we secured that. She got all that woo, what I'm finna do with that.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, we'll check him out.
Yeah, like I said, I'd love to play some of his music on the show.
Oh, he would love that.
And if he ever wants to be a guest, let us know.
Oh, he does all kind of radio shows.
Yeah.
My father did do an international thing across country with him. Like he did Fox in I think it was DC. He did Texas. He did Arizona. So he loves the camera. He would love to be on your show.
Awesome.
Tell him when.
Awesome.
And he's funny. He actually is very funny.
Okay. Not shy. Good.
Just like mom.
Oh, am I funny?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very natural.
I'm laughing.
Very natural in front of the camera.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Very enjoyable. Yes.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm entertaining you and talking about my singing and people flatulence.
I mean, yes, that might be the hardest I've ever laughed on the podcast. I'm not gonna. That's not a lie. I can remember like one other time like doubling over a little bit, but that's got to be about the funniest thing I've.
But I would just say it. I'm pretty down to earth. I think I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems like it. Yes. Do you have much? I don't want to say exposure. With other playmates, do you in contact with other playmates? Oh my gosh, this wine is this is getting to me.
See, I told you it tastes like Kool-Aid and it's gonna sneak up on you. I'm gonna start stuttering.
Guess we don't need that second bottle.
I know. So I talked to Susie Singstock. I talked to Rosie and Renee Tennyson because they own a store not too far from me in the mall. They're so sweet. Nefertiti I speak to. Layla Roberts is one of my favorite playmates. She's beautiful. She looks like a blonde Raquel Welch. I I mean, I pretty much know quite a few of them. Those are the ones I kind of talk to all the time.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have messages out to every one of them. So feel free to let them know how much fun you've had.
Okay, I will. I actually will tell several.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Susie and I have gone back and forth, and we're trying to get something worked out. It just hasn't worked for her yet, but the rest of them I've reached out to and just haven't heard anything back. So
okay, I talked to her today, so I'm going to tell her I did the show because I didn't tell her.
nice.
Oh,
nice.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
tell her, 'cause we're working on some NFTs, some new NFTs.
Oh, okay. We just spoke with Victoria Fuller last night. So
Right, so hers are totally different than ours.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Where else am I
I
spending some
can't
money?
save it so much because it's not done, but we have
Okay.
active NFTs.
Okay.
So I have a group of girls. So we would all love to come on because I have like a group of 7 girls that probably if you guys are interested, that I'll get all of them on and we can all do a group thing when ours come on. Because
Yep.
ours is kind of and our girls will have more ownership of their stuff individually.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. It's
And ours is going to be a little different. Nothing to get to her because she's a great artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her stuff is really, really nice.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, obviously we're interested in that. I think that goes without
that'd be
saying.
fun. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I
It
think
does. It is the new thing. It's coming up. It's like,
yeah.
get on board now, right?
well,
I'm trying to educate myself. I'm like, what are NFTs? It's just, trying to get my brain to comprehend and really go through it and understand it. I want to understand it. I don't want to just be like, okay, everybody's doing it, because
right.
what I'm finding out is if you have an NFT and if there's no value to it, it's just going to sit there.
Yep. Absolutely. It's only worth what somebody will pay for, right? So
Exactly. And why is it going to be worth something? I'd be just looking at you when they could pull your picture up on,
Yeah.
it's just a digital chain that's worth money on the computer.
yeah. It's a different world. With your husband being in the financial world, is he involved at all? I mean, is his world gone there yet?
No, because you know what? He's a bond trader. So he does
Okay.
government bond trading.
Okay.
So this kind of stuff like crypto and all that, he's like, yeah, whatever.
Wait, yeah, if you're trading government bonds, I'm guessing crypto is probably a little too risky for you.
Yeah. He trades government bonds. He's like, yeah, I don't know how to keep up. It seems kind of new to me. He thinks that it's like playing the lottery. If you can get into it and win some money, that's fine. But
Right.
he's like, how long is it gonna last? That's his thing.
Yeah.
How long is it gonna last? And it could be the next big thing, but he also is like, yeah, okay, everyone's in on it now, but
Yeah, I mean, just as easily could be worth $0 10 years from now. That's, I don't think anybody can honestly sit here and say they know.
no one knows.
No.
Yeah,
It's just a hot thing. Like I haven't gotten past the virtual part of how do you own a house on the computer? And you get all this money for it, and you're not living in the house. Like to me, it's all about status. I just cannot comprehend or get my brain around that part.
You hit it on the head. Status is a big part of it. Is what I'm learning.
And I'm not going to lie, after we had our conversation last night and I talked to his son is involved in buying virtual land, I was looking around today. So I'm like, I don't want to miss out.
Yeah, I know, right? We don't want to miss out. We're like, okay, let's get it. But I'm trying to comprehend, but I can't live in the house. So
Okay,
I just haven't been able to get that part of it, but I think it's cool. I mean,
But you can decorate it with your NFTs. You can hang your NFTs on your virtual walls.
and then
So-
sell it to someone who wants it, right?
Right after they take a tour.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you're good at giving tours, so there you go.
Right. Better ask him.
Perfect.
He probably owns some NFTs.
I probably has a whole bunch of them.
He's got more than that. Okay, well that's exciting that it's coming up, and I hope it works. That you launch it and all that stuff. That it works out for you and your girls.
We got some really good people working on it.
7 now, you said? Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Good start.
Girls now. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. I'm
Really cool chicks. Well, I want to call them chicks, playmates, girls.
beautiful.
Playmates. We're learning.
Beautiful with ladies and nice girls too.
Yeah. Well, everyone we've ever talked to has been, wonderful. So, and there's only so many of you, and it's gone.
Such a small group. Yeah.
There'll never
And
be
part of
more.
The whole Playboy thing is, I think, is etiquette too. Like us going to the parties. Even though we're young, we don't realize they're really grooming you in so many words, and not in a tacky way. in a sophisticated way, because the people that were at Playboy were people of a certain status in fame and all that. And even though to them it's like, they want to make sure that the girls were classy and pretty and nice, and pretty smart. Most of the girls are pretty smart girls. A lot of them have a lot going for them, and they've turned their career, that Playboy thing, into a enterprise for themselves to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're finding more and more. It's just crazy. I mean, it's inspiring.
It is, and we're here to support them.
Right.
Absolutely. Speaking of supporting it, we're here to support or let you pub. Your wine. I'm done with your wine.
Wow. Did you mix some tequila in there?
I told you.
Yeah, I did not listen.
It makes you like kind of giggly.
It's perfect. It's the bubbles.
It does. It's like drinking a Jolly Rancher.
Yes, exactly. It's Jolly.
I wanted to ask you. I know you're involved a little bit in some anti-bullying, some advocacy in that. Is there anything you can talk? Or is there anything you have going on with that? Or
so funny. So I tell my son, I said, he's been through it. Like, he's about to graduate. Finally, I was like, we finally got him there. And I have a daughter who doesn't experience it at all. I didn't experience it. I grew up, my kids are living in the same area that I grew up in, which I moved back over here. And it really saddens me that he's been through so much, and I always had to go to schools and fight for him. And it's so funny. My hustband's he's a big guy, but he's really sweet. He's like a marshmallow, and I'm like I'm not mean. But I'm the feisty one. See, it's the Stella Rose. I'm the feisty one. And, I would come up there and I'm like, you're messing with my child, and it went from being a mom who's an educator, as far as like just being academic and know what they speak their language to. Now I'm the angry mom, period. I'm done. Yeah. As the bullying and the schools not standing up for the kids is so ridiculous. And having an ethnic son was really difficult because they would try to flip it all the time. And it's like, listen, I grew up in this neighborhood. I didn't have this problem back in the 80s myself. Why is my child, and my daughter doesn't go through it, but my son is going through it, And I'm and now that I see all other kids too. Now he's in a school for entertainers, is online, but it's been several schools. And I'm so against that. I'm for any child that goes through it, no matter if you're gender, different, or, whatever your sexuality is, you look different, just period. It's just not necessary. And the schools don't do anything. In my day, if you got bullied, you went to the principal's office. That's it. You went to the principal's office, you were scared. These people in school, and even my kids actually are in private school, they don't want to do anything. They just want to sweep it under the carpet because they don't want to upset the parents. And I said to my son, when you become famous, I want you to mention what you went through, because even though you may think, oh, I don't want to look bad, I want to look cool. No, you are going to inspire and help those other kids, because I'm a strong person. You have strong parents who are advocates for you. Not everybody is like that. So you don't know what those kids are going through emotionally. And we've got kids hurting themselves because they go home, they can't deal with it. And it's heartbreaking because they won't even tell you. And I could just tell by his demeanor some of the times, like, something's going on. Yeah. So definitely would like to just, talk more about that, any opportunity I get, because it's happening across the country.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's sad it's still going on today, That's for sure. I
think one of the bigger things is when I was a kid, even if there was bullying going on at school, when I went home, I got away from it. And now it's not that way. It follows you home, with social media, and there's just these kids once they start getting bullied, it just never stops.
It doesn't stop. We didn't have social media.
Right.
So we didn't continue to get bullied. And then they keep saying mean things. And I just don't understand. But I had a kid show up to my house in the middle of the night. This is how bold this kid was. Wow. He showed up to my house in the middle of the night and knocked on the window. My son happened to be not in his room because we had a guest that night. So my son actually wasn't in his room. And the guest says, there's some kid out there 2:00 in the morning wanting me to call my son out to fight him. So me being a crazy mom with no contact lens on, can't see, in my pajamas, I was that mother. I was like, you got to fight me first, because I am that parent. I will slap a kid. I will beat you like I'm your mama. And then they were like, well, why didn't you call the cops? this was another ethnic kid. I was like, first of all, I know what would happen in this neighborhood. And the school wouldn't do anything because I said, we need to have that talk with his parents, because anytime you challenge a parent, these kids are bold. There's no way I would disrespect anyone's parents.
Yeah, no.
Let alone show up to a house
Right.
and tell the parent, and my husband's a big guy, I want to fight him, make him come out. I feel disrespected. And my son was little, like he's just starting to grow, but for a long time, he was kind of small. He wasn't a big kid. So that's one of the reasons why he went through it. And I just was baffled. I said, I would never disrespect someone's parents, but these kids are bold and they don't have any fear. And if they don't get what they want, it's the entitlement, like I should get what I want right here, right now, because of social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
And showing respect. I mean,
and no respect. And I'm like, look, I'll get my belt and beat you. I don't care. So one kid ran and I saw the kid and I chased him down the street in the middle of the night. And then I realized I was old. Let me tell you how I realized I was old. I was running and that kid was gone. I turned around, the kid was like, I was like, where'd he go? He left me in dust. I was like, oh, I don't have my contacts on. I can't see. And I was trying to chase some 17-year-old down.
Well, he probably had running shoes on and you were barefoot.
He left me in the dust. It was hysterical. I don't know who I thought I was. I thought it was Superwoman. I was gonna get shoes and fly up in the middle.
You were Mama Bear, and Mama Bear.
You don't mess with Mama Bear.
Yeah.
Mama Bear, sure.
Especially with their cubs. You mess with the cubs, you're gonna get the Mama Bear after you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well,
Mama Bear who's trying to run and go tonight.
At least you didn't fall down. I mean,
yeah, hopefully. Well, maybe he can use that everything he went through in his music, that he can write about it someday.
That's
and
right.
write some good songs about it. And to your point, let everybody know you got to come forward. Don't suffer by yourself.
I tell him that because it will help other kids, because there are other kids that go through it all the time. You have to let other kids, they're going to gravitate to you because you're going to send them a message, and then you might save someone's life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, just be honest with what you went through, and nobody's going to look down at that.
Nope.
No.
So awesome.
No. Well, I'm glad he's moving on and he's got a mom like you.
Take care of business.
I do. I'm like, I go out there. I'm like,
good for
they're
you.
like, oh, here's his mom, and mom wants to fight his battles. I'm like, I don't care.
His mom just wants to fight.
He was having some problems, even though I came out in 94. He was having some problems at school because the kids were showing my pictures and his mom Playmate, and I was like, you knew this was going to happen at some point. And I was like, if your friends are still looking at me from when they weren't even thought of, from that long ago, I mean,
right?
Just walk away and say, who cares? What's your mama look like? That's what I tell them.
Right?
I love the attitude.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah. Your mom wasn't in,
Still look at it. I'm like older. I'm like, well, oh, well.
Everybody's got it. So
I love it. I love it.
I do too. Any more feisty stories from your Playmate or the Playboy Mansion days?
I probably have so many funny stories.
Because now that's come out, how feisty you are.
I know I am a little feisty. Some of the other girls were pretty feisty. Yeah.
Any hair pulling at the pool or anything,
the girls fighting and arguing with each other, and just cattiness. That did go on for a while.
Oh, of course.
I would imagine Hef would be like, you can't do it in front of the guests. If you do it in front of the guests, you're out.
Near the grotto was this little game. It wasn't really a game room, but it's like a room where everybody went and then kind of went downstairs. It was off. You couldn't really see it. You couldn't tell what it was. It was like a secret room. So all the Playmates would hang out there, and that's where all the madness would go on.
There we go. That's a new detail we've never heard. I like it.
Yeah.
We're putting together the whole picture.
Yeah.
Episode after episode.
There was another room, and then it had a stairs, and it goes down, and then it was a lot of it looked like the 70s, like the Partridge Family, because it had a van look inside of it and was kind of spongy, with the cushions. They tore all that up. Whoever bought the mansion, it's all gone.
Right. Yeah, I know, it's sad. It's so sad.
It is really sad.
I always hoped I would get there once.
I know.
That was on my bucket list for years.
Yeah, right.
They had a lot of parties there. I met Vern. What's the Vern, the little guy?
Vern Troyer?
Oh,
Yeah, he was
Mini
always
Me?
there. I was excited. He was so tiny. He was so sweet. He was one of my favorite guests. He always was at the mansion, but he was always drunk.
Right. Yeah. He was drunk a lot.
Yeah, but he loved like the girls always like laying down like beside him, taking pictures with him. That was fun.
Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't?
and he was right there.
Yeah.
There was cameras everywhere too, so that part's true too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
All right.
So, Livia, chance to promote. Well, you can't promote your NFTs quite yet.
Probably in about a week.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, I can talk about it more.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
Well, promise we can get you back when you're able to talk a little bit more about it. We would love to have you back. So
Yeah, it'd be great, and I could get
With
a
the
group
girls?
of girls. Now the thing is, we may have to all be separate because we're going to be living in separate places. So if you can all,
yeah, we can Zoom everybody in. That's
We'll make
fine.
it work.
We'll make it work.
okay.
Absolutely.
Give you the time to talk about it and then promote it, and absolutely get everybody on board.
I did tell Susie I was coming on this show.
Cool.
I did tell her. I told her the other day when
Yeah.
we were having the meeting.
Cool.
So I'm going to tell her it's your show though.
Nice. Awesome. Do you-
Perfect.
all right. Thank you so much. Do you want to promote anything else before
Your
we?
Instagram page to
Your-
get going.
Yes.
Are you gonna have that?
Carter P at Elan Carter P on Instagram. And I've got some stuff coming up. I've talked about my book that I'm doing, and then we got the NFTs coming with the group of girls. And I'll keep you posted on any new ventures.
Awesome. And don't forget to
I'll
check.
be traveling again soon. So
Okay. And don't forget to check out your son.
Trace Austin
Is that his
name.
Instagram?
On his Instagram? Yeah, it's the Trace Austin.
Okay.
And his Apple Music is Trace Austin Music. He has a website.
Okay. I'll put it down. I'll put it in
perfect.
the show link so people can click to it from here. So
Okay, great.
try and send some traffic his way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, you guys. This was fun. You guys are fun. And I'm going to get Susie and some of the other girls on the show.
Awesome. Thank you so
That would
much.
be awesome. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you for the recommendation. I'm gonna go drink the other bottle now.
All right. Perfect.
More giggles.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. The tavern is closed for now, but we'd love to have you back for more fun next time. Seriously though, get your asses out of here.
Beautiful lights coming down your eyes. Swear I shed a tear on 1,000 nights. Wanna let you go, but I can't deny. I wanna let you know, but I can't decide. And all of these heartbreak moments, breaking my heart wide open. Hard to see where we're going. Through all this smoke we're blowing. Oh, I just can't get over you. Oh, girl, this is what you love to do. I love it when you hate me. Your sex game so amazing. I'll be perfect, baby. You've been more than patient. Let's take a ride on the dark side. Your love is a drug and I wanna get high. Just can't get enough, baby, let me stop by. Make your river run when I get inside. I'm not trying to argue, come love me now. Can't you feel the love that I'm giving out? Say you feeling empty, fuck you talking about. Put all my trust up in you, wasn't pulling out. Now all I see is beautiful lights coming down your